That wasn't the only thing that comes to Monday Night Raw. We got to see what Io Sky is going to say, right? Io Sky wins the Women's World Championship, defeating Rhea Ripley last week on Monday Night Raw in a damn good matchup. And a matchup that really provides a little bit of introspection when it comes to Rhea Ripley. We've known her as the former member of the Judgment Day who's been feuding with Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. But now, as we're getting away from the Judgment Day, we kind of get to focus on Rhea Ripley, the individual. Again, I like this idea of what they're doing with Rhea Ripley as she's becoming a loner. She's becoming isolated. Doesn't really have any friends. Her one friend, Io Sky, she cost that matchup that would be a qualifier for the Elimination Chamber, setting up the championship matchup on last week's Monday Night Raw. So Rhea Ripley doesn't have friends. She would like to think so. But Io having defeated her for the championship, there's probably a little bit of resentment there. Bianca Belair, who was the Elimination Chamber winner, was ringside for the matchup, was caught cheering for Io Sky, and again, that rubbed Rhea the wrong way, who, again, was close friends with both Io and Bianca, their NXT's big three during the Triple H era. So now we have to look at Rhea Ripley differently. No longer is she like the dominant force in the division. There's a little bit of vulnerability when it comes to Rhea Ripley. I want to see how she's going to wiggle her way back into this match. I can guarantee that. And what you can make the argument for is one, a rematch clause, right? There was this whole thing in the WWE where if you lose your championship, you get an automatic rematch clause. They kind of strayed away from that in recent years, but Rhea can make the case that, hey, I do want a rematch because Bianca cost me. She could also go a little bit of the heel route. I don't think they're going to turn her heel, but it could be a possibility. She could go the heel route and say, Bianca put her hands on me. She pushed me, and the ref didn't call for the bell. That's a disqualification. I should be the rightful champion. They can go the heelish route, but I do think one way or the other, Rhea Ripley will be in the championship match at WrestleMania. I know I just said that the men could have a triple threat match. I think the women could have one as well. Bianca versus Rhea versus the champion Io. Tell me that's not a matchup you want to see. That's a matchup I would want to see, and a matchup that could main event WrestleMania. Night 1, because we know what Night 2 is going to be. But regardless, Rhea, Io, Bianca, and there's championship implications with Io Sky having just won the championship. Can Rhea Ripley regain the title that she lost, I guess, in her book? Can Bianca win the championship? She hasn't been champion since SummerSlam of 2023 when she was cashed in by Io. And then there's also the fact that she's 4-0. Bianca is 4-0 at WrestleMania. Can she make it 5? Can she continue her winning streak? I know The Undertaker had it for 21-0, but maybe Bianca can get some traction here. Must see TV. Definitely must see TV. And what else is must see TV was Friday Night SmackDown. There was some complaints regarding SmackDown and the quality of their program. The 3-hour thing, I will say, I think is excessive. I think 2 hours is the money mark. 3 hours is a little too much, especially in that final hour. Me as a diehard wrestling fan, I find myself looking at my watch sometimes like, damn, we still got like another hour. But this week's SmackDown was an exception. Must see. Naomi, Bianca Belair. What a segment. That's the kind of wrestling I'm into. I know, there's some people who are very like, it's too soap opera for me. But you know what? At the heart of it all, pro wrestling is like an athletic soap opera. It was very reminiscent for me of like the older WWE storylines, the drama, the emotion. It makes me become so much more invested in the characters and in the matchup. Bianca Belair, we know, is the Elimination Chamber winner, will get the championship opportunity against Io Sky at WrestleMania. But in the back of her mind, she has to still think about what happened between Jade Cargill and Naomi, two of her partners from last year's WrestleMania, going at it. Jade Cargill makes her huge return at the Elimination Chamber, attacking, and I don't just mean attacking, I mean demolishing Naomi to the point where she wasn't even fit to compete in the matchup. So then, as Bianca's in the pod, screaming, yelling, questioning what is going on, great sell there by Bianca as well. She comes on to Friday Night SmackDown, wants some answers, and is questioning Naomi. Is it true? And Naomi beats around the bush, saying, you know what, I don't like the way she was with you. Taking advantage of your stardom, your excellence, your name. all the hard work. She's leeching off of you essentially. Until finally Naomi breaks down and says, I did it. And in a promo that was very reminiscent of Rikishi talking about, I did it for The Rock. Naomi did it for Bianca Belair. And you can see there was a moment there where both Bianca and Naomi shedding tears. I know some people aren't into the emotion when it comes to promos, and the crying is a hit or miss for some people, but those were real tears. Like, that was some acting right there. I give them the credit. It was a great segment. When Bianca Belair finally leaves Naomi in the ring, and you hear in Naomi's voice her, the cracking of like, don't leave me, like, I'm sorry, I did it for you, or saying how it was for you, you just don't realize that, and then calling her an ungrateful. I mean, it was great stuff. And the way the camera panned from Bianca Belair, and it takes a different angle so that you can see the Tron behind her, and then here comes Jade Cargill from the back. A great shot. She comes out, beats the holy hell out of Naomi again, and a great little moment there where she lifts up Naomi to deliver her finish, and you hear Naomi scream out for Bianca as she's going down. Top notch. I thought it was great. Love the matchup that we're gonna have is Naomi versus Bianca, or excuse me, Naomi versus Jade. Whether that happens at WrestleMania or if it's gonna happen like on the SmackDown before Mania, we'll have to wait and see. I think it's gonna be a great showcase for Jade though. A great opportunity here, who has been in the tag team division since her debut back at the Royal Rumble. It'll be a good 4-way for her to transition as a single star.